It's a high quality sequel. I'm shocked. US Marshals, released in 1998 and directed by Stuart Bard, starring Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, Robert Downey Jr., Joe Pantoliano, Tom Wood, Daniel Roebuck, and Latanya Jackson. Production cost of 60 million, domestic take of 57 million, international take of 45 million, for a worldwide total of 102 and a profit of 42 million. Less all marketing and associated costs. I lost a chunk of video to data corruption, so this bit's going to be a little shorter. Characters. Well, to begin with, Sam Gerard is back, along with his little entourage of deputies. And just like last time, they're all good quality, their interactions are great, the characters get along, they work together really well as a team. You can see that whole team spirit and camaraderie sort of thing going on there, and it's great. Couple of newcomers, you've got Gerard's boss, quite a good character, clearly got some sort of strong feelings for Gerard. I'd say there's a past relationship here or something. You never find out. RDJ's character gets slotted into the group as well. When he comes onto the scene, he's clearly got his own agenda and an interesting set of skills. Useful guy to have around, as they say. And the target of the hunt, our fugitive, Shepherd or something like that, played by Wesley Snipes. Again, a very cool character, very skilled, very resourceful, very dangerous. Very different to Dr. Kimball. Kimball was purely smart and could think ahead. This guy, his skill set and abilities makes him very dangerous and equally fun to watch them chase him. So much like the last one, this is an ensemble movie. This has got all the characters interacting and running around. Gerard's handing out instructions and everyone's scattering to do it. We've got groups all over the place. At one point, I think we had 6 different story points, all converging on the one location. It's really quite interesting. The characters are high quality, well done, well portrayed. I see absolutely no reason not to give them a 4. And at the end of the movie, you just want more of them. You want to see the next story of this team. It's quite engaging. Story. Well, it's actually kind of the same. In many ways, the last one, of course. You've got a fugitive on the run. You've got a very grand and dramatic scenario where he has to escape from, and then off he goes. And of course, Sam Gerard and his team are chasing him. And much like the last one, their target is actually framed. He's not the guy that they think they're chasing. Again. And what I did like about this one is Gerard was suspicious about this pretty much from the start. It would appear that he's learnt from the Richard Kimball incident. He's questioning a lot more. He's second-guessing the evidence before him. Doesn't stop them from doing their job, it just leaves them more open to extra ideas. I don't really want to go into spoilers, or there is one thing I will discuss, but they managed to take the story and work on the elements we've already seen, that we already enjoyed in the last one, dial it up a bit, make it a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex, and keep it as engaging as the first story. That's the interesting part. It's still its own thing, and you're very interested in it. Now, the spoiler I want to talk to you about. We have a major character death in this one. A key supporting actor gets taken out. And it is a little shocking. You don't see it coming, to be honest. It wasn't telegraphed. It wasn't hinted at. There was no setup or foreshadowing for this character to get nailed. And I didn't expect it to happen. It was dramatic. It was sad. It was a key element in the story because it is actually what manages to push Gerard over the edge and have him running off with murder in mind this time. He was gonna go and kill the guy. All his rules, all his training, all that out the window because one of his team was just taken out cold. Other than that, it's yet another very dangerous game of hide and seek with a bit of a mystery, a fair bit of intrigue, a lot of double crossing, and a lot of backroom agency politics. It was a very tasty little story. I enjoyed everything about it. It also gets a 4. No problems there. Look and feel. Okay, don't know really what to say about this one, in as much as it was very well done. It's very well polished. It's your standard late 90s action flick, which means it's just good. Clothing and gear, vehicles, sets, locations, camera angles, lighting, sound, all that sort of stuff. Music as well. Everything was just standard. It's standard action movie stuff. Nothing super stand out, either in the good or the bad category. Yeah, it's just good. What can I say at that point? Oh, the plane crash. Yes, okay, the plane crash. That was nifty. They had to step it up from the train wreck in the first movie, so this time they've got a plane crash, and it's quite the moment. It's quite a dramatic, intense, key part of the story. And it also included two things that made me very uncomfortable. One, the threat of drowning, and two, the threat of falling out of the sky. So yeah, you could say that it made an impact on me, that particular scene. It was very effective. That aside, it was also very well done. Some of the physics of it, I don't think work out as well as they portrayed them. Pretty sure a plane can't take that much damage and not just disintegrate. Also sure at the same time that a single bullet shouldn't blow out the entire side of an aircraft. I saw that disproved on Mythbusters actually. Once again, a bit of scientific knowledge has gone and ruined a movie for me. Does anyone else have trouble disconnecting that part of their brain when they're watching a film? I mean, it can be annoying. Nevertheless, that whole sequence was very well shot and very well done. Lots of physical props happening there. Look, I was going to give this a 3 as your default standard action movie good, but that whole sequence and the set that they use at the end and everything like that definitely raises up to a 3.5. So yeah, 3.5 for look and feel. Easy done. Script and dialogue. Okay, as expected, this... Oh! Found my pen. So as expected, this was very wordy. There's a lot of dialogue happening very fast in this film. Sam Gerard is barking his orders and everyone's sprinting to obey. There's a lot of lingo, there's a lot of jargon, there's a lot of stuff over radios. There's a lot of very short, sharp sentences. It's got that energy, it's got that sense of urgency, it's got that real gravitas, that sense of weightiness about it. Because the way they describe the hunt, they're on the clock and they're chasing hard. It's also funny watching the team give each other a hard time, interact, banter back and forth. They certainly didn't lose that aspect from the first movie, which I was very grateful for. The fight scenes were on point. The delivery of all the lines also felt very relaxed, very natural, very real. It just felt like conversations happening in an office. These people have worked together for ages and they know the way each other think. And they portray that aspect of it really, really well. RDJ's all sorts of charismatic as usual, and Snipes brings a real believability to his character. You buy into the fact that he's as dangerous as he appears, he's as skilled as he appears, and he's actually kind of as desperate as he appears. If I was going to have a complaint about it, it would be the fact that it gets very convoluted at one point. At one point, when you're trying to track all the secret agents and special operatives that are trying to double-cross and triple-cross each other, and where the trail of corruption leads, it gets a little confusing. At one stage, I thought one character was actually someone else, and when they saw them alive again, when they're actually dead, that would kind of confuse me, but I just got the names jumbled up, to be honest. They throw the names out fast, and they're all kind of the same. Very Agent Smith, Agent Jones, Agent Smith sort of thing, Other than that, everything is sharp and well done, well presented, quite witty, fast-paced and well choreographed. It's the whole package. This gets a 3.75. The only reason it doesn't get a 4 is because you can actually get lost in some of the details that are thrown at you late second act. Fun factor, hey, this is a good time. This is what you want a sequel to be. You want it to be as good, if not better, than the original. And this one is as good. I'm not going to call it better, because the two have got very different styles in many ways, but at the same time, they're very complementary. They continue the story. You're engaged. It's interesting. It's quite exciting. They've got some actual surprises in here, which marry up nicely to the feeling of familiarity. It's definitely a worthy sequel and definitely worth watching. I do recommend this one. If for no other reason, you get to see RDJ and Tommy Lee Jones bouncing off each other, and that's really cool. It's a great time, exciting and rewatchable. I'll be giving this one as a 4 as well, and would encourage you to give it a chance too. Final score, add them all together, you get a 19.25. That feels fair. This was a really good time. I absolutely enjoyed it. I didn't actually want to read anything or look anything up. I didn't want to pause it. I didn't want to double check anything. I was in the movie. I barely made any notes, in fact. Entertainingly complicated, but not impossible to follow. So that's my review of US Marshals, the sequel that no one wanted, no one expected, but surprisingly doesn't come with any regrets. Have you seen this one? How do you feel it stacked up against The Fugitive? Please comment down below or on the Facebook page, and while you're at it, like, share and subscribe. As usual, I hope you're having a great week and that you make some time to go watch a movie.